The field surveys are conducted to collect the data of the different environment. So these environment may be the natural or man-made things. So after collection of the data, certain techniques are used for the interpretation of the areas. So one of the most important technique is the statistical technique. So here we can use the technique in geography for the interpretation of the numerical information or facts and figures of the data. So here we have the best example of the population. So population surveys are conducted, field surveys are conducted to gather the data, and this type of data is important for the different projects. So here we must use the stats technique to interpret the areas where we have the statistical environment. So geographer, like many other scientists, both in social and physical domains, are facing with an information explosion. Actually, statistics is the study of the collection, analysis, interpretation, presentation, and organization of data. The amount of information and with it the amount of numerical data is increasingly at an accelerating rate. Most geographers have to deal with data obtained from samples rather than with all the data they could possibly have about a particular situation. In this case, the sample is representative of the total set of data. In this slide, we can see the district of the Lahore. So the dark shade actually represents the area which has high density of population, and certain areas are under the black spots. Those are the areas where we have the disease regarding dengue. So the high group of dengue disease patients belongs to the high density populations. So here we can interpret the data not only the population cluster but as well as with the disease spread. One of the most powerful use of statistics technique is in helping the geographer to decide the relationship between two sets of sample data. Now this slide shows the population pyramid of a developing country. So here we have the structure of the population of a group of the population, which represents not only the male-female ratio as well as with the age group. Now the percentage of the population mostly is between 0 to almost 20 years of age, but most of the population actually is in the 0 to 4 year of group. So it means the country has high growth rate, or in other words you can say the high birth rate. So the economy is actually the developing area or underdeveloping areas where you have the high growth rate in population, but the services are not available, which are actually the area of the social welfare regarding health services. The water is not available for the drinking purpose, or water is contaminated. So the most of the developing areas, the population belongs to the under 20 years of age. But with the passage of time, the population decreases with the increase in age group. So this means that the death rate are actually high as compared to the other regions. The major use of statistics is in helping us to make predictions or postdictions. So this is actually not only gives the picture of the future growth, but it also deals with the postdiction of the data. The past trend of the growth gives us the story of the previous total number of the population, and the present trend of population regarding the growth rate actually gives us the future trend of the population. So this actually slides gives you the accurate prediction in only the areas where you have the developed countries. So the growth rate decreases with the increase in time. Accurate prediction is only possible where complete deterministic process is in operation. which will always produce identical results in identical circumstances. Some data behave in different ways at different times. This must be dealt under careful, controlled conditions. This map shows the areas where we have the high death rates of the world. The most of the countries belongs to the African nations. So here we have the maximum death rate. So it belongs to the third world areas or underdeveloped regions. Same is the case with the northern part of the Asia, where we have the high death rates. But most of the countries belongs to the high income group have low death rate because of the health facilities and information flow and the high income group of the area. Now this is the map of the Pakistan, which gives us the location of the different deserts of the country. The most of the south and eastern part of the country belongs to the arid and semi-arid type of climate, which have the areas of Sindh, the southern part of Punjab, where we have the desert, Thar Desert belongs to the Sindh province, and the Cholistan Desert belongs to the southern part of Punjab. The Thal Desert belongs to the central part of Punjab, and the Haran Desert, which is actually to the western side of the Balochistan. So with the given statistical techniques, we can interpret the data into different ways. So not only we can interpolate the data in different graphs, but we can make the charts as well as we can draw the maps of the given data. So with the help of the statistical technique, we not only draw the maps, pie diagrams are also very important. So here the data can be presented in different ways. So the number of the school going children are actually totally controlled by certain type of activities. Here some are going through the cars, some are actually through the public transport, and some by the walk.